I think I can do this. A quiet instinct carried Helen Tran, the daughter of Vietnamese refugees, from a childhood shaped by survival to becoming the first Vietnamese-American woman elected mayor in the United States. A child of silence, a family of sacrifice. Helen's story does not begin in a place of comfort. It begins on a road without certainty. Long before she was born, her parents made the decision that would shape every generation after them. To leave Vietnam by land, crossing borders through Cambodia and Thailand, carrying nothing they could not hold in their hands. When they finally resettled in the United States in San Diego, survival was the only goal. Around 1981 or 1982, Helen was born into that fragile new beginning. When she was 6 years old, the family moved again, this time to San Bernardino. It was a city of endurance. Rent was tight, food was counted, dreams were postponed. They relied on government assistance, yes, but the house was rich in something else: love, discipline, and a quiet understanding that no one was coming to save them. When Helen walked into an American classroom for the first time, she understood nothing. Not the words on the board, not the laughter around her. Language became a wall she ran into every single day. She stared at books until the letters blurred, memorizing shapes before meanings, sounds before confidence. School was not a place of joy. It was a daily test of isolation. But what that silence gave her was something powerful: observation. Helen learned to listen closely, to watch people, to sense emotion without words. While other children spoke freely, she learned patience, and slowly, painfully, word by word, she crossed the language barrier. At home, childhood looked different too. By second grade, she wasn't just doing homework, she was working. Every afternoon, she sat beside her mother in their small kitchen, where 4 sewing machines crowded the room. Fabric piled high. Fingers moved fast. Each garment sold meant food on the table. There was no complaint in that kitchen, only responsibility. Helen learned early that effort was not optional, that if you didn't show up, something or someone you loved would suffer. Stitch by stitch, she learned perseverance not as a concept, but as survival. Those long hours taught her something else: dignity in labor. No job was beneath her, no task too small. Every role mattered if it helped the family move forward together. Inside classrooms, teachers slowly became lifelines. One encouraging voice could change everything. And a seed formed quietly. Education saves lives. For a long time, her dream was simple. She wanted to be a third-grade teacher, someone who would stand at the front of the room and see children who felt invisible. But life was already preparing her for something larger, even if she didn't know it yet. In high school, almost by accident, Helen joined the political club. One guest speaker came in, someone working on a campaign, and asked if anyone wanted to volunteer. Just an open door. Helen said yes. She didn't know it then, but that single word, yes, was the first step out of the kitchen, out of silence, and toward a voice that would one day carry across an entire city. Leaving the kitchen, finding a voice. Saying yes was easy. What came after was not. As Helen became more involved in campaigns, volunteering late nights and weekends, mentors began to notice something in her. Not ambition in the loud sense, but reliability. She showed up, she listened, she worked without asking what she would get in return. And one day someone asked her a question that felt heavier than any she had faced before. "Have you ever thought about going to college?" The idea terrified her. At home, the sewing machines were still running. 4 people, 4 incomes bound together by necessity. If Helen left, she wouldn't just be chasing a dream, she would be breaking a system her family depended on to survive. College felt selfish, unrealistic, almost disloyal. She was honest about it. If she went away, she would be the missing pair of hands. Her parents listened, and then they did what refugee parents often do. They chose the long future over the short-term fear. They let her go. Getting accepted to UC Santa Cruz made Helen the first in her family to ever attend college. The achievement should have felt triumphant. Instead, it felt heavy. On move-in day, when her mother helped her unpack in a dorm room that felt worlds away from San Bernardino, Helen tried to be strong. She failed. She cried after her mother left, alone in a room that represented both freedom and guilt. For the first time, success meant distance, and distance hurt. College was not a smooth ascent. Helen worked while studying, balancing classes with organizing campaigns across Southern California. Grassroots work meant long hours, little pay, and constant rejection. Doors slammed, phones hung up, promises broken. But she learned something invaluable: how communities actually live, struggle, and survive. Politics stopped being theoretical. It became human. Then came Italy. Studying in Siena was the first time Helen truly stepped outside the world she knew. New language, new customs, new streets where no one knew her story. Instead of fear, she felt curiosity. The immigrant child who once struggled to speak English found herself excited by difference. It was a quiet transformation. Confidence without arrogance, independence without forgetting where she came from. After graduation, she returned home, not to applause but to uncertainty. She took work through a temp agency, just trying to stay afloat. One placement sent her to City Hall. At first, it was just a job. Filing, scheduling, learning names. But something about the building felt familiar. The bureaucracy, the pressure, the invisible labor that keeps systems alive. Helen understood this world instinctively because she had lived it in her own home. She stayed. Years passed. Responsibilities grew. Titles changed. Through consistency and competence, Helen became the youngest human resources director in the city's history. From the kitchen floor to executive decisions, it still felt unreal. But just as her career rose, San Bernardino began to fall. Bankruptcy, budget cuts, public distrust. And then, in 2015, unimaginable violence tore through the city. Grief settled into the streets. Fear lingered. Exhaustion became permanent. For many, it was a signal to leave. For Helen, it was a call to stay. Crisis revealed something inside her she couldn't ignore anymore. She didn't want to watch from the sidelines. She wanted to help rebuild what was broken, not with slogans, but with work. She didn't see herself as a leader. She saw herself as someone responsible. When she later left City Hall and accepted a role in West Covina, it wasn't an escape. It was preparation. Experience layered on experience. Quietly, without spectacle. And somewhere along the way, that familiar thought returned, the one she had first heard as a child over the hum of sewing machines. I think I can do this. Stepping forward when history calls. Helen never grew up imagining herself as a mayor. Even after years inside City Hall, even after leading departments and navigating crises that would break most people, the idea of running for office still felt distant, almost absurd. Power was not what motivated her. Stability was. Service was. Doing the job well, then going home to her family, was enough. But San Bernardino never stopped calling her back. She watched the city struggle under the weight of distrust, financial instability, and a reputation that seemed impossible to shake. She heard outsiders talk about her city with contempt. She felt the frustration of residents who loved this place but felt forgotten by it. And slowly, painfully, a realization formed. Experience without action was no longer enough. When Helen decided to run for mayor, it wasn't impulsive. It was methodical. 3 years of preparation, listening more than speaking, walking neighborhoods, studying what had failed, and why. She knew the criticism would come, that it already had. Some said she wasn't political enough. Others said she couldn't win. Some questioned whether a Vietnamese-American woman could truly represent a city where Asian Americans made up just over 4% of the population. Helen didn't respond with arguments. She responded with presence. She built a campaign the same way her parents built a life, slowly, honestly, and without shortcuts. She leaned on what she understood best: systems, people, and trust. She surrounded herself with those who believed not just in her, but in the possibility of something better for San Bernardino. One moment during the campaign stayed with her. She walked into a meeting, one of many rooms where she was the only woman. This time she brought her daughter. Afterward, a CEO approached her and said thank you, not for a policy position, not for a speech, but for showing her daughter that she belonged in that room. That was when Helen understood fully. This campaign was no longer just about her. It was about visibility, about permission, about showing the next generation, especially girls, especially children of immigrants, that leadership does not require erasing who you are. Election night, November 8, 2022, arrived quietly. No fireworks, no certainty, just waiting. And then the numbers came in, 62% of the vote. In that moment, history shifted. Helen Tran became the first Vietnamese-American woman elected mayor of a U.S. city, the third woman to ever lead San Bernardino in its 169-year history. Her opponent called the next day to congratulate her. Unity mattered more than ego. When Helen spoke after her victory, she didn't talk about herself. She talked about trust, about collaboration, about a city that deserved belief again. She also talked about sacrifice. She left a stable executive position, accepted a role with constant scrutiny, relentless pressure, and no guarantee of peace. People told her she was crazy. She knew exactly what she was giving up, but she also knew what she was giving back. Every time she thinks of her parents, of borders crossed, of language barriers endured, of sewing machines humming late into the night, she understands this moment differently. Their sacrifices did not end with survival. They were always meant to become service. Helen's promise as mayor is simple and heavy with meaning. I want to make sure no one is left behind. She is a mother of 4, a daughter of refugees, a lifelong resident of San Bernardino, and now it's mayor, not because she chased power, but because she answered responsibility when it finally spoke her name.